Okay, we're live. So welcome to the first ever TADSummit Revisited. The reason we're doing this is at TADSummit back in November, we had a packed agenda and we really didn't have enough time for decent Q&A. So what we're doing is a series of webinars where we go into a little bit more detail with some of the presenters. So we're kicking off with Thomas Howe of Greenbot and Just Kissed Me fame. So welcome, Thomas. It's nice to see you.
Nice seeing you.
So let me just kick off with the... Oh, God. Yeah, you're not going to be doing that throughout, are you?
I will. I promise I won't. No, welcome to my kitchen, guys.
Well, it's informal. It's a chat. So let me just get down straight to the questions. And we've got 8 questions to run through. So thanks to everybody who sent through the questions. Great, very direct questions. So I'll kick off with the first one. What's the name of your open source bot server project, and where can I find out more information?
Okay, so it's called Greenbot, green-bot, and the name of and we're putting it on GitHub. So if you're a GitHub guy, search for it there. And we are publishing the core tech of Greenbot. Cool.
So it's already there, and you can download it.
Yep, it's already there. We are we work on it every day. So if you want to swing over and take a look at it, and we're also starting greenbot.org. So a nice little portal to get there and get tutorials and videos and help and support.
And is that green.bot.org?
Yeah, green-bot.
Great. Okay. So then, so that hopefully gets people to all the code and hopefully get involved in the project and contributing. Yep. Now, one of the, it came in a number of different sort of forms, this question, but I think people are interested to understand how your bot server fits in the world. Is it really just an application?
No, it's not. In fact, I've got something I want to share really quickly that might help you understand how it fits. So let me just share my screen because I know it's kind of hard to get your head around. It took us a long time for us to get our head around it. So not at all
it's a
surprise here. So basically the thing I want you to take a look at is this this slide here we call it the bot stack. And the bot stack is a lot like a web stack. And so when I put the web stack here on the left and the bot stack there on the right, and so just as a metaphor, if the web stack went from the IP network up to the database to a web server to a website, the bot stack has a similar sort of thing where we go from a messaging network and a database to a bot server and a bot. So essentially a bot is a peer to a web app or an application on your phone. So that's where the application layer goes.
Yeah.
And just like web servers connect, serve out pages to browsers, bot servers house bots and handle all of the stuff like scaling it, connecting it into other messaging networks. So a bot server will connect up to Twitter, Yammer, SMS, WeChat, Line. It handles that for you. And so that's kind of where it sits. So it's not an application, actually. No. It's a common way of connecting bots into networks and applications and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yep. And given just the mass of messaging networks out there, then it provides, there's a lot of effort just to do all that integration and make it work. So I guess that's, again, part of the drive is to get a community behind to drive it. Oh, great. You've got the slide there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, so exactly. So the fact that messaging networks are balkanized, that there's lots of disparate walled gardens, makes it really difficult for the bot designer to have to pick which networks they're going to deploy their bots to a priori. Because generally when you're building a bot, it's for an audience, and the audience comes with the network. So like if you're building a bot for a teen application, you would probably put your bot on WeChat until it moves to Line next year, until it moves to Facebook the year after that, right? So it does take care of that. It also does things like session management. So one of the things which is different between messaging and voice is that voice has a ring, pickup, and a hang up. There is no session idea with texting and SMS. And what we do is we establish session management on top of the conversations because The big idea behind bots is that they're used to handle requests out of companies and that kind of stuff, which is almost inherently session based.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So we do that kind of stuff. We also do stuff like human language translation. So, and it's available now. So if you download our stuff and you text into it, we'll pick up the language that you're texting, and then we'll switch the language into your own language.
Gotcha.
So that's now available. It also does things like scaling seamlessly. So you don't have to worry about, okay, I deployed it, but it'll only work for 3 people.
Yeah.
If you use a bot server, then you can be guaranteed that it doesn't matter if you're serving it to one person or the planet. It's from the bot perspective, it's the same.
Gotcha. Okay, because that got me thinking about, especially in dealing with that important sort of issue around session management, because that's providing context. Because what's been asked previously influences what the answers could be. Now, I'm wondering in some scenarios whether there's additional contextual information that could be used to help the bot give relevant answers.
Yeah. So the answer is obviously yes. And so let me go to back up to the first stack thing for a second. It'll help me explain it better. So the answer is yes. And there's maybe a sort of idea in people's head that there's only one kind of bot. And there's actually, not only are there many different types of bots, but there's probably going to be a bazillion people making bots.
Yeah.
The contention that we have, going back here for a quick second, is that bots are the next leg of the stool, where we had websites, we had mobile apps, and now we have bots. And they all have different pluses and minuses to them.
Yeah.
And because there'll be so many bots, we believe that that there's going to be all kinds of opportunities for contextual information and data, and that comes with the type. So, for instance, the sort of bots that Greenbot supports are all the bots. So, the first bots that we made were called scripting bots, session bots, bash bots. Basically, any bash script could run and drive the bot. But there's also natural language bots, like from people like Watson. Yeah. Right. So now Greenbot supports Watson bots as well.
Gotcha.
So you can use Greenbot to connect your Watson bot to any messaging network in any language. Gotcha. And so Watson bots in particular are driven by lots of data, not only the data that you're giving it in your own conversation, but the conversation that they had beforehand, because it's a learning system. Yeah. So that's a good example. And there's also bots that are stupid, like just single response bots, keyword bots. Yeah. So we have one message in, one message out.
Gotcha.
Super scalable, no sessions.
Again,
another bot type that we support.
Good. No, that's clear. That really helps define that. So why do you think people will adopt this open source project? And I guess a similar question is, given you've been building this for several years now, what are some of the barriers, problems that make this a viable open source project? Yeah.
So I guess it remains to be seen, but here's the here's the basic idea. Yeah. When I've been doing this almost 30 years now, and as I look backwards at my life, I noticed that in all areas of technology, not just communications.
Do you want to go off screen share? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can go off screen share. So how do I stop screen sharing? Stop it.
There you go. There you go. You're back.
Yay. Okay. So basically, so it remains to be seen. But my experience has been in all areas of technology that once we do something at least halfway right the first time, we tend to keep it. And in software engineering, from a technology standpoint, we haven't had a bot server before. This is a new area for us generally. So by using an open source approach, we have an opportunity to say, listen, we did it. It did it well, and it's available and well used and well looked at and fleshed out well. And so if you are a bot designer like I am, at least it's something for you to start with before you go forward. Yep. Our business isn't exactly open source, but see, our business is actually really simple. We're a bot hosting company. If you have bots and you want to host them, we'd love to do that for you. And basically the same thing as websites. You don't host your own website; it's a pain. Hosting is a pain, and we do that. And I would actually contend that hosting bots is a bigger pain because it's a harder problem to solve. There are real-time considerations. There's language considerations. There's network considerations. All that kind of junk. Yep. And in particular for this audience set, we think that a real viable model for carriers moving forward is to become bot hosters, especially because if you look at what they have on their business side, is they have a lot of business DIDs that are attached to voice services, but they have no messaging services attached to those DIDs.
Yep.
So essentially they're giving up half of their business. And if they're going to attach something to that DID, it's going to be a bot.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Right, and so what we're doing is we've been, as you said, been working on this a couple of years. This is our repository of our best practices and our information and the best stuff that we know, and it's all here and all available. Cool. And so we want our customers when they want help with their hosting or help with their bot stuff to have started on a good foot.
Gotcha. Who else is active on the bot scene?
So there's lots of different conglomerations of communities. There's the intelligent assistant community, or digital assistant community, and that is a fairly well invested place. And they are people like Aspect and West, I'm sure, will be fairly dominant in that space for making bots. Right, because they're bot makers. Okay. What we would do for places like them would be ease their transition to connecting to networks, easier transition to connecting to people, easier transition to connecting to Salesforce and all the other data stuff like that. So that's one area. We also know there's a pretty decent size a set of people doing what's called HuBots, which is a very simple chatbot that is done out of GitHub, and we support HuBots as well.
Gotcha.
So those guys, and then we suspect there's going to be a pretty decent number of guys doing customer support over text and media, advertising, that kind of stuff. Gotcha.
So it really is, it's a scene that is, as always, there's a history. There's been bots in existence for 10, 20 years. I mean, remember some of the bots that first appeared on Yahoo IM many years ago now.
Right, exactly. Right.
It's really now starting to grow in, because of just the rise of messaging. People just prefer the message.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was the final piece. And the fact that we've finally got our heads around that people like using their thumbs, which, and we're communications guys. What are we doing, right? That was a big deal. But also the thing that really kind of like put the whole thing together in context is the mobilization, the Internet of Things, the connecting of people and process.
Yeah.
And messaging is perfect for that. It's lightweight, it's easy, simple, it works everywhere. So when we finally get that into our head, now we can have good answers for, do I really want to spend $50,000 to make a mobile app that 4 people are going to use?
Exactly. Yeah.
You really don't want to do that. Yeah.
Cool. Now, at TADHack Paris in December, Vince Buglia from Dialogic did a great hack. It was a bot, and he was adding in an AI component with IBM Watson. I'm interested, just given your experience, when does it make sense to use that rather than, as you said, a dumb bot?
Yeah, great. So, what we found in our experience is, when you're interacting with a bot for self-service or this kind of, please help me, there's actually 2 phases of it.
Yeah.
The first phase is, I want the bot to figure out what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a discovery. Here's the task I'm looking to do, Mr. Bot, please help me.
Yeah.
Then once the bot figures that out, then it does the task.
Yeah.
So let's say the task was, I'm going to collect information from a lead. I saw a commercial on TV that said, hey, text us for more information about our swimming pools.
Yep.
And I text in, the first phase would be, okay, what do I want? I want information about the swimming pool. Second phase, okay, may I please have your name? May I please have your blank? Well, the rote. Okay. Yeah. The first part is very natural language, dialogue, smarty stuff.
Yep.
And the other is very much like a web form written by text.
Yep.
Okay. Once you figure it out. The short answer is stupid bots are great when you already know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because they're cheaper, they're scalable. If there's no doubt about what the task to be done is, that's where they're best.
Yeah. Gotcha.
If there's like some discovery or there's some looseness about it, go natural language.
Gotcha. Cool. No, that's great. That really sums up that sort of initial phase. Get it locked down in terms of what's specifically required, then make it as dumb as possible. Cool.
Yep.
Which industries do you think will be most likely to adopt these bots through 2016? Is it financial services? Is it health? I'm just interested. What do you think will be some of the early adopters?
So you want to look at industries that have high amounts of customer contact. That's a big one. You want industries that have demographics that swing young.
Gotcha.
Yep. And you want to have industries that have massive outreach, but specific in reach.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, for instance, I'll give you examples of those. High customer contact, anything that has a lot of big contact centers now. So, consumer services, consumables, anything which is retail, professional services, that's a biggie.
Gotcha.
On the second one, things that swing young, we like entertainment, we like certified accounts, on like Line, that kind of stuff. That's a biggie. And then on the whole, big outreach and like back, we like things like media, advertising, mass media, because remember bots work on radio, print, ad. That all works pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Or things like government, public health.
Yeah. Of course,
right? So one really great use case is we've got a public health scare and we want to tell people about it, but we want to give them the ability to register. Like, imagine there's a pandemic and we want to know who's getting sick.
Yep.
So the guy from the health department goes, hey, if you have these symptoms, please text this number. We'll tell you how to take care of it. We'll make a database of it. Hey, we got salmonella, report.
Zombie apocalypse.
Apocalypse. And that's one of the best things about bots. There's no pixels, so you can design and deploy one in a day.
Yeah.
But you can't design and deploy a mobile site in a day because there's pixels involved.
Exactly. No, that's a very good one. It sort of reminds me almost like it's a natural evolution of where textism has been. When you mentioned the sort of government and public health and I could see how what they've been doing naturally evolves into what you've created here. So potential customer there.
Yes.
So just moving on with SMS CRM. Can it really win against the sort of app aggregators we're seeing emerge? Like Facebook, WeChat,
of course. That's silly. I'm sorry, it's silly. I hear everyone's all SMS is dead. Well, F you, it's not dead. It's ridiculous. So let me just give you the undeniable use case, okay?
Yep.
The French military is not going to base any sort of system on Facebook, WeChat, or Line. Okay. SMS comes with phone numbers, and phone numbers come with treaties, and treaties are done by governments, and governments have big problems.
Yep.
And so what you have to get around your head, I think, is that messaging is not like voice. Messaging comes with its own population.
Yeah.
So there's no way that SMS could be supplanted because the population that SMS supports is the global population.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you needed the thing that could reach everybody, anytime, anywhere, without a doubt, it's SMS. Period. End of story.
Yep.
And nothing else will ever be able to say that because there are guns and treaties involved.
Exactly. Nope, that's clear. And one of the reasons why application to person SMS continues to grow at 6 to 10%.
Exactly, and we need to have that abundance mentality. I mean, I know this is hard for an industry like communications that comes out of natural monopolies. And this is kind of what we do for a living. We monopolize a region and we milk it for everything it's worth. Good for us. The trouble is that we get ourselves too stuck in that monopolistic idea. And because we have attacks against one of what we consider to be inside of our wheelhouse, we go, oh my God. But the fact of the matter is, there's more than you have more than one messaging account, do you not?
Yep, absolutely.
Who doesn't?
That's it. But there's only one that, you know, you can guarantee being reached on across basically the device I carry with me all the day.
Yeah, yeah. As I love innovation. I love the Valley. I love over the top, and it's all great stuff. And that's how our world moves forward. But the fact of the matter is, you know, guns and treaties, E164. That's what it is.
Yep. Nope. That's great, Thomas. So is there anything else you'd like to add in? I mean, we've spent 20 minutes already, so we're up on time.
Yeah. So no, I just the only thing I wanted to add in is if you're interested in bots and interested in bot servers and interested in, you know, the whole ecosystem and how it's moving forward, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you help us on the project. You know, part of the idea behind open source is aggregating communities and aggregating people who care about these things together and putting that intelligence so we don't have to do it again. And I'd love to you know, hear from you if you're interested in that.
Absolutely. Well, we'll put the links in the weblog for green-bot.org, as well as on the GitHub for the repository, so people can start playing with the code and hopefully contributing. So again, best of luck for 2016. This is going to be a very exciting time. And again, thanks for supporting us on TADSummit. And see you again soon, Thomas.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.